This is the BBC World Service and you're tuned to Outlook. Now to a subject familiar to almost all societies in some shape or form, or perhaps I should say in some costume or outfit, as it's the subject of dressing up, in particular of fancy dress. Many people love putting on clothes that may disguise who they are and or make them the centre of attention, and we'll discuss the reasons for that shortly. With me in the studio now, I have party animal and fancy dress connoisseur Thierry and Caroline Johnson, a trustee of the Costume Society. And from Western England, we're joined by photographer Leticia Valverdez, one of whose projects centred around pictures of Brazilian street girls dressing up. Now, I have this distinct suspicion that for Thierry, it's carnival season all year round. And let me just describe, this being radio, it's not over-the-top flamboyant, but we have some fantastic extravagant jewellery, a very large, fantastic bangle, beads and necklaces hanging round what I can only describe as a slightly pink furry vest with a very high furry pink collar. Very understated, Thierry. We've met before. Is this fancy dress or everyday wear?
Weekday wear.
Weekday wear. So yes. At the weekend it would be that little bit more...
It gradually grows into something more and more...
More carnival-ish even.
Yes, absolutely.
So, we just heard carnival as a good example of fancy dress, but what would you describe as fancy dress?
I think fancy dress is about the people using their creativity and their imagination to turn whatever pieces they find or whatever attracts them in the theme that they have to respond to, and turn into their fantasy selves, be able to expand their own expression and their own extravagance or outrage, things they're not allowed to do, as it's been said very well.
Now, in your case, you're originally from France, you came to London, and I gather it was that sense of dressing up, of fantasy costumes, of fancy dress, that gave you a chance to, as it were, gain the confidence to enter the party scene.
Yes, absolutely. From my village of Champagne in north of France, it wasn't a very good idea to walk around just looking like a carnival.
You don't go home dressed like this,
carnival
do you?
Creature. I don't go home, no. I just stay here.
Stay in London.
Yes, that's right.
Well, London's the kind of place where people wouldn't bat an eyelid seeing you like this, but I guess in Champagne it might be slightly different.
It would be a different matter, yes, absolutely. Yes.
How much did it help you, though? Did you arrive in the big city of London from kind of an urban community in Champagne, feeling a little shy, and the kind of the different clothes gave you this kind of cocoon in which to hide?
Yes, absolutely, because I just felt I couldn't exactly be my whole self just looking plain, ordinarily, in everyday life. And wearing the costume has enabled me to express my more theatrical sides and get in touch more with who I really am inside.
Caroline, in your case, I think the costumes meets history. And through costumes, you try and reveal more about history. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. In fact, although fancy dress interests me, particularly the psychology of it, and it's an absolute joy looking at Thierry, particularly the fabric of his trousers is just luscious.
I didn't get to the trousers. Let's just say a lot of glitter was involved in the making of them. Thierry, I must just ask you one sort of briefish question. Obviously, I presume you get pleasure out of wearing what you do, but is the pleasure confined to yourself?
No, I don't think so.
No, I'll speak for that.
Well, in a sense, yes, Caroline just answered that. She gets tremendous pleasure out of just looking at you.
Yes, absolutely.
I wish I was there too. I can't see him.
I'm afraid, Leticia, it's a pleasure you're not going to get over the radio.
Oh.
Promise to send you a picture. But I think it's great because it gives people a vision and inspiration as well, because how many people just feel they can't exactly wear just what they want because it's not PC and it's not going to go down on the underground.
So it's a vicarious pleasure that, even if a man in a business suit walks past you and at the weekend he wears whatever he wants to wear, if he passes the street on a Monday morning, he passes you, at least he gets a little bit of pleasure, a smile on his face and all that.
Yes, that's right. Ray of sunshine.
A little ray of sunshine. And on that note, a very big thank you to my guests, Thierry Müller, Leticia Valverdez and Caroline Johnson.
Thank you.
If you like to dress up, tell us about it. Don't be shy. We'll be very discreet, I promise. Our address is again, outlook@bbc.co.uk.